Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Diplomatic License right here on City TV. My name is Apioko, and away from last week's fabulous Independence Day episode, this week I spent some time with Her Excellency Kati Csaba, who is the High Commissioner of Canada to Ghana. Now, we begin our time together at the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana at Latebiokoshi in Accra, the PPAG, for those of you who are more familiar with the acronym. Spending time here, we're going to meet some girls that Her Excellency and the High Commission of Canada have been supporting through their youth empowerment and particularly girls empowerment program right here in Ghana. And from there, we go shopping for some interesting things that Her Excellency would like to buy. So it's a fun-packed episode as I spend my first half of 2 weeks with Her Excellency Kati Csaba of Canada to Ghana. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, and when we come, we meet Her Excellency and the wonderful girls who she's brought me to meet here at PPAG today. Welcome back. You're still watching Diplomatic License right here on City TV. It's still Heritage Month. It's still Women's Month. And for that matter, I did tell you that as I spend time with Her Excellency, the High Commissioner of Canada to Ghana, today we'll be spending some time at the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana, PPAG. And I'm here with some beautiful young ladies, not just Her Excellency. There are 4 of them, and very shortly we'll find out who they are, where they're from, and why we're spending time with them today. Hello, Your Excellency.
Hello.
You're very welcome.
Well, thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to be with you today.
And you too. I'm so glad that you're able to join me. How's Ghana so far?
I'm really enjoying my time in Ghana so far. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, I haven't been able to do as much and see as much as I would like, but we'll get there, and I still have lots of time.
We definitely will. And how's the heat?
I'm learning to manage.
Good,
yes.
Good. But currently we're at PPAG at Latebiokoshi in Accra, and when I discovered that this is a place that you wanted us to come, I was very excited because March is International Women's Month. Of course, it's Heritage Month, and I believe that at the center of everything Ghana has done, indeed what the world has done, women are there and have always been there. So I was very excited that you do a lot of work, and not just you, but the High Commission of Canada as well does a lot of work with young women, young girls, and you're doing all you can to empower them. So I'm going to start by asking you, where are these young ladies from? These beautiful young ladies.
These beautiful young ladies are participants in a program that we have been funding through UNFPA, working with Planned Parenthood, PPAG, here in Ghana. So they are from Greater Accra, and they are all engaged in the activities that are being proposed through this center. So they are receiving support in different ways and advice and guidance, and I know that they have made some good friends within the community working here.
Okay, so you mentioned that these ladies are from Greater Accra.
Yes.
Does that mean that there are some who are from outside of the capital as well who are part of the program?
This program works elsewhere in Ghana as well, so it is quite a large program covering different communities, but today we've chosen to visit this center here in Accra.
That's wonderful. Now, where do you find these girls? I mean, how do you meet them? Because I imagine you don't typically just run into them on the street, right? So how does it work?
So the way it works is like this. We will provide funding to our partner organization, which in this case is UNFPA, and then they are working with a local partner, which is PPAG, and then through all the different activities that they do, they engage young people to come in to the center, to work with them in different ways, and that's how I've been so lucky as to meet these 4 young ladies today. We've had a very nice conversation about their dreams, their goals, and the support that they've received.
And that's brilliant. And before, I'm sure we'll get to hear from them shortly. We'll speak to all of them. But before we get there, how does Planned Parenthood play a role in all this? I mean, I know that we've spoken about the UNFPA and that this is a center in Greater Accra, but what role in particular does the association play?
So PPAG is playing what I consider to be a very important role in terms of doing work around reproductive health education. So they are and in other ways as well, but they are working with many young people, girls, but also young men, to teach them about how their body works, what does reproductive health actually mean, how they can then have decisions over their own bodies and whether they would like to have children or maybe later. So it's really helping these young girls, I think, to understand how they can take decisions that will make sense for what they want to do in their lives. And from meeting with them, I've also learned that this program is doing a lot more. It's supporting the health system so that they are getting good quality health care that is particularly well focused on young women, on young adults. But also they get support to feel empowered so that they feel like they can take decisions that affect their lives, which is, to me, the most important thing.
I mean, that's brilliant. Unfortunately, a lot of women, and I dare say more so in the global south, which Ghana falls within, a lot of women's dreams are hampered because at one point or another they didn't have enough information about their reproductive health systems and whatnot. So that's very empowering to hear, and I'm excited that that kind of work is being done, that you're a part of that, Your Excellency. But at this point, can we speak to the young ladies? Please, if you could introduce them, I think.
So this is Emmanuel.
Manuela.
Hi, Manuela. How are you?
Please, I'm fine.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How old are you?
I'm 15 years of age.
Okay. You're in school, I imagine.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
What school do you go to?
I'm a fresher. Okay, Okapemai Senior High School.
What form are you in?
I'm SS1.
Okay. And then what program are you offering?
General Arts.
General Arts. Okay. What do you want to be in future?
A journalist.
A journalist. Okay. So you'll be my best friend.
Yes, please.
Follow me around the place every vacation. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Every vacation you come to me, right? Okay. And how have you found the program that you're doing with Your Excellency and then PPAG as well?
Well, it's very interesting and it's very helpful. When you join PPAG and you don't have confidence in whatever you do, you have confidence in it. Immediately you join PPAG because they help young ladies acquire what they want in future. They teach them more about sexual and reproductive health, sexual and reproductive health. They teach more about it. They teach you how to abstain from sex to achieve what you want to be in future. Teach you more.
Have you made any friends?
Yes, please.
Yes. Who are some of your friends?
Auntie Antoinette, Auntie Esther, Lillian, Philomena. I just met her today. The young ladies.
So you'd encourage other young ladies to join the program as
Yes,
well?
please.
Okay, good. So young ladies, if you're watching, please, Emanuela is encouraging you to join this program with PPAG and of course with the High Commission of Canada. Okay, so what's your name?
I am called Florence. I'm from Pram Pram, and I attend school at Wesley Methodist Baby School. I came here, they said they have a program called the Safety Net.
Okay, the Safety Net, okay.
That's why we are all here. So we came here too.
Okay, so how has the program helped you so far?
Okay, what I benefit from the program is they help the young girls in the community or in the society, those who are pregnant and they feel shy to go to school, all those things.
Okay. So you're a mother yourself? Okay. Do you have a boy or a girl? Okay. How old is she?
4 months.
4 months. Wow. Florence, you're a strong woman. Very strong. Okay. And congratulations. And I hope that you continue to benefit from this program. You become a big woman in society. And your daughter will also follow your footsteps.
Yes.
Okay. And of course, apart from Her Excellency, you need my support, you can always reach out to me too. Okay. Okay. So now let's hear from our young lady in yellow.
Please, my name is Philomena Tete. I'm a student of Ningo Senior High Technical School, and I offer home econs. My dream is to become a midwife, and I was introduced by a program called Safety Net Program. And my school nurses and some of the health centers came to me. They advised me when I was pregnant during school time. And they advised me many things, how I would take care of myself, eat well, and I tend to my antenatal care. They make sure I take my medicine regularly so the day I deliver. After I deliver, they came to my house and visit me. They make sure that I take good care of the child and also breastfeed her well, exclusive breastfeeding from the day I delivered to 6 months. And I did so. So I was there and they said, today we are coming to meet the white woman at Accra. And I also followed them and came. And when I came to, I was happy because today is my first time of meeting a white woman. So I was a joy today.
Thank you, Philomena. Well, I have some questions for you. So you want to be a midwife?
Yes.
What are you studying in school now?
Home econs.
Home econs, okay. And why do you want to be a midwife?
Because I'm interested in that.
You like women and the idea of
Yes.
childbirth, reproductive health?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. And how old is your child?
10 months.
3 months.
10 months.
10 months.
A girl.
A girl.
Yes.
Oh, almost one.
Yes.
Wow. 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 I'm proud of you. Very proud of you.
Okay.
And I'm sure Her Excellency, of
Absolutely.
course, is
Very
too.
proud.
And I'm so glad that you're back in school and that you're chasing your dreams.
Okay.
I'm very, very happy. And I'm sure you, Philomena and Florence, you encourage other young ladies like you
Yes.
not to give up on their dreams.
Yes.
Okay, being a mother is great, but it shouldn't be the end of your dream.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And yes, and of course, last but not the least, please tell us about yourself. Your name first.
My name is Lilian Atram. I'm from the Rochelle community. Okay, I completed Wesley Grammar School SHS. I'm currently working as a facilitator for PPAG before going back to school. I want to become a lawyer in future. So I'm really happy about when I heard about this program, the Girl Empowerment Program. I was very delighted because they took me through some SRHR information. I became empowered and now I'm able to give those information to those in my community. And the girls in my community are also doing very well with it. So it's a great program. I will thank the Canada Embassy for helping us in this.
So were you a part of the program before, now that you finished school, you're working with PPAG?
Yes, I was a part of the program before I was trained and I became a facilitator to also give the information to my colleagues.
So you've come to give back.
Yes.
Very important. I like that. And I'm wondering, were you following the election petition?
Yes, I was.
Of course. And you understood everything.
Yes.
Young lawyer. Good. So we'll see you in court. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we've heard from Emanuela, Florence, Philomena, and of course Lillian. And as you can see, amazing young ladies, Your Excellency. I'm blown away.
I'm glad to hear you say that because I also have been blown away. I've been so impressed to hear from them about their ambitions, their goals. Some of them have had to overcome certain challenges, but they've been strong and they have fought for what was important to them. And I wish them every success as they go forward.
And I'm particularly excited, of course, Emanuela and Lillian. I mean, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I'm excited about everything you're doing. Lillian, I'm happy that you've gone full circle, you've come back, and now you're giving back to your community. That's very important. A lot of us don't do that. You know, we benefit from various things, various people, and then we forget about everything and we swim in our own ocean. But I'm very happy that you've come to give back. Emanuela, I mean, the younger you are, when you discover your power as a person and as a woman. The younger you are when you discover that, the more powerful you can be and the more impactful you can be in your community. And then for these two young mothers, Your Excellency, I'm very sure you know, and of course this is most likely one of the reasons why you and the High Commissioner are doing this work together with the PPAG and your other partners. A lot of young women in Ghana, when they get pregnant, they're not able to continue with school. You know, they're not able to continue with school. So I'm very happy that the program is helping them do that and that they're bold about speaking about the challenges they've had. But more importantly, they're moving forward.
Exactly. I'm excited because on the one hand, they had access to good quality health services while they were pregnant, and then after they gave birth, and they have been supported in their ambitions to go back to school and to complete their education.
So Your Excellency, I want to find out from you, are there any other programs, empowerment programs that you're involved in as well?
Well, I can tell you that in line with our feminist international assistance policy, pretty much every program that we support in Ghana and in other countries contains some element, at least, of supporting gender equality and empowering women and girls. Some of them, that's the only goal, and you know, and we've heard from some of the participants what that means in terms of results. And in other programs, they may be working in other areas like women's economic empowerment and supporting women entrepreneurs. But we cover a range of programming that all of which has women and girls at the heart.
Okay. And Your Excellency, I know this may seem like a very hammered question, but why is it important? I mean, this is generation equality, right? We speak about the SDGs. There's equality in there, gender equality in there. Last year, we celebrated 25 years at the Beijing conference. Yes. We're talking about women's empowerment and feminism all over the world. But why is it important? And in Women's Month, I would like you to tell us why it's important, if not for anything to you.
Well, I would say for me and for the Government of Canada, it's important to keep working on these things because we're not there yet. It's, you know, we've made some great progress along the way, and that's really good news. At the same time, we've seen how the COVID pandemic has had a very negative impact, in fact, on many women. Many women have lost their livelihoods. We've seen an increase in gender-based violence because of people being forced to stay home during lockdowns. So there are many reasons why we need to continue supporting women's empowerment, because we want to arrive at a world where truly women and girls feel equal in terms of their rights, in terms of their opportunities, and we've made good progress, but we still have some work to do.
Brilliant, brilliant. So, I mean, viewers, you've heard Her Excellency. She's spoken so much about the work that she, not just her, of course, the High Commissioner of Canada to Ghana is doing, you know, to empower young people, young girls, young women, and women in general in Ghana, you know, and I'm sure beyond as well, right? And we've met these lovely young ladies. I'll tell you their names again because you need to look out for them. Emanuela, Florence, Philomena, and Lillian. You look out for them because they're coming for you. They're coming for you. And before we go on a break, I just want to reiterate that it's Heritage Month at City FM, City TV, but it's also International Women's Month. And I mean, we can't talk enough about women and our place in the world. If you have any doubts about what that means, then, you know, you're not my friend right now. You shouldn't be watching me, you know, but just very important points to note. I mean, I'm laughing about it, but very important points to note that there's a place for women in this world, in this country, and I believe that everybody needs to know that. So we're going for a quick break, and when we return, the show continues.
City TV is live. On DSTV, go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the Go TV and Star Times box. City TV, it's your world.
Welcome back. You're still watching Diplomatic License on City TV, and I'm still spending some time with Her Excellency Kati Csaba, Her Excellency the High Commissioner of Canada to Ghana. And I told you, we've come to Alisa Hotel. In other times, apart from COVID times, we probably have gone into the market, gone to experience the bead markets, played around with fabric, touched them, experienced other people, but unfortunately, we cannot do that. And so we set up our own little, Ghanaian market here at Alisa. They've been so kind to host us here today, and we're going to talk about beads and many other things. But before we get into all that, Your Excellency.
Yes.
So I know you like beads.
I do love beads.
I know you love African prints.
Yes, I do.
I know you sew.
Yes.
I know you do lots of things. But let's go back to the beginning, because we haven't spoken much about you.
Okay.
We spent a beautiful time with your girls and PPAG and learned about all the wonderful things that are going on there. But let's start from where you grew up.
So I was born in Montreal, Canada, but my parents moved to Ottawa when I was 3 years old. So basically I grew up in Ottawa, which is our capital city. It's a nice city. It's a smaller city though, not as exciting maybe as Toronto or Montreal.
Yeah.
Exactly, but it was a very good place to grow up.
Yeah, and what was growing up like?
I think I had a very good childhood in that I had, I grew up with two parents who loved me and a happy home. I have a younger sister. We had a lot of fun together. I did pretty well in school, and so yes, I look back on my childhood as being a really happy time.
So it's just you and your sister?
Yes, that's
okay,
right.
So I mean, in Ghana, when we think about Canada, like you rightly said, we think about Toronto, we think about Montreal. So tell us more about Ottawa, because a lot of people probably haven't even heard of it. People don't even know it's the capital.
Yes, yes. It is the capital. It is I think it's the fourth largest city in Canada, so it's still a comparatively large city, but it is a much quieter city. It's a government city, and probably a good comparison is Brussels, in that it's it's a very nice city. It has some beautiful things to do. I must say, I don't want you to think that I'm putting down Ottawa, because I love it. It's they're beautiful museums, a lot of green space, great parks, lots of possibilities to ride your bicycle to work, for example. But as a young person, I do remember thinking, oh, Ottawa's not so interesting. I sure would like to live in Toronto or Montreal. But now I'm very happy to live there.
So you have a younger sister.
Yes.
What are some of your fondest memories growing up with her?
You come from a musical family, and both my parents were professional musicians, and so we used to sing a lot as a family. And so at Christmas time, for example, we would sing Christmas carols, and my sister is also, I like to sing, and my sister likes to sing, and we would do some fun things together, and sometimes we would have fun imitating television commercials, so we would just imitate them, and we would each pick which voice we're going to sing, and we'd make our parents laugh by doing that.
So your parents are both professional musicians.
Yes.
What was it like growing up with musicians as parents?
Well, it actually created in me this very deep love of classical music, and in fact of all music, but especially classical. And I would go to sleep at night hearing my parents practicing, and I would go to concerts regularly. And it really, I think it brought a lot of happiness to my life, and so I've cultivated ever since a love for classical music. It also, though, I have to say, it made me feel a little bit sometimes apart from my schoolmates, because it's not a traditional kind of job.
It's not.
It's like my parents didn't go to the office, or they didn't work at a factory, or they didn't they didn't drive a truck. They were musicians, and a lot of my friends didn't really understand how you could actually do that as a profession. They didn't know that it was something that you could do full time and actually make money. So
exactly. What instruments do your parents play?
So my mother plays violin and my father plays viola. So they were...
so the orchestral strings were
yes,
there.
we were there, yes, yes.
Do you remember going to any concerts that your parents were, you know, participating in, for example?
Yes, I do. I would go regularly to concerts, and they would tell us usually, my sister and me, when there was a particular piece of music that they knew that we would enjoy. So we would make arrangements, because the concerts usually were on a school night, and we would, you know, have to go to bed late. But they'd say, we really want you to hear this one piece because it's such a beautiful piece. And they also would play chamber music for fun. And so whenever they were doing that, they would bring their children to watch them play chamber music.
And in hindsight, I mean, when you think about how vested they wanted their children, you and your sister, to be in their music, in their lives as musicians, how does that make you feel?
Oh, it makes me feel proud to have been part of that tradition. And they're both retired now, but they still play a little bit for fun and for enjoyment. But what it also makes me realize is that as a parent myself, I probably didn't do as much as I could have to encourage my own children to be engaged in music. They took music lessons of different kinds, but I wish they'd pursued it a little bit more. But you know how parents are. You want everything for your children, and so
of course.
But no, it's a really wonderful legacy to have.
Okay, so let's move forward a little. I mean, you spoke a little bit about being in school and your friends in school not understanding what it meant to have musical parents.
Yes.
You know, but what were your school days like? What were the subjects that you enjoyed? What were your teachers like? Were you a good student? Were you a naughty student? Were you mischievous?
Well, I'm the eldest child, who often, if you look at sort of birth order, tend to be the ones who are the achievers, the disciplined ones. Yes, so that actually fits me. I was pretty studious. I worked very hard in school. I did well in school. I really enjoyed. Well, and I have to tell you one thing about my schooling that was a really interesting development in Canada at the time, because Canada is a bilingual country, officially bilingual. We have English and French as our official languages. So when I was a young child, just about to start school, they introduced a new program in Ottawa called French Immersion. So what it meant was I went from kindergarten onwards, I went to school in French with other English children. And we all, of course, we often spoke English to each other, but with the teacher always spoke French. And the idea was that, you know, like immersion, like into a bathtub or something, that when you're thrown into it, your brain will just react, and you will,
like a sponge,
you'll be a sponge and you'll pick it up. So I feel very fortunate to have been part of that first year of French immersion, because it meant that I finished high school and I was fluently bilingual in English and French, which has been wonderful in terms of my job opportunities and career growth and so on. So I was a good student. I learned French. I enjoyed school overall, and but I tended to be more interested in the social sciences, English and history and geography and things like that, or French literature. Yes.
What were some of your favorite literature books, for example? I mean, I grew up reading Anne of Green Gables, the Anne series, and watching it. You know, Lucy Maud Montgomery's. I loved it. I was lucky to have those traditions in my home. But what was it like for you? What kind of books did you like? What kind of books did you enjoy?
Well, I must say I loved Lucy Maud Montgomery as well, and I read all of her books pretty much, I think, in all of this series. And I still, occasionally, when I'm on holiday and I feel like I just need to relax my brain, I will go back and I'll read a book like that. Just it gives, it brings you pleasure and these fond memories of your childhood. So I loved Lucy Maud Montgomery. There are other Canadian authors whom I've really enjoyed. Margaret Atwood is one, very well known around the world, and she was a real believer in gender equality and women's rights, and she wrote very powerfully on that subject. So it was something I really enjoyed reading. Some of her very early works when I was young were maybe a little bit intellectual for me,
but she was very heavy.
Yes. But as she continued to write, some of her other pieces were really accessible but delivered really important messages. So I've enjoyed those. And Yannick Martel, who wrote Life of Pi, also a very interesting kind of fantasy novel about a man who gets stuck in a lifeboat with a tiger, and yes. But so I've been enjoying kind of getting to know Canadian literature, but of course I read a wide range of things, and like the Bronte sisters. Absolutely. Or Jane Austen, or these classics of English literature are also things that I have always loved to read.
Absolutely. So let's move forward. I mean, so of course we've spoken a little about the earlier years of your education. At what point, and if at all, did you know that you were going to enter diplomacy?
Well, it's an interesting thing because by high school, I had decided that I really wanted to be a diplomat. And I feel lucky because I think for so many young people, it's hard to know at that age what you want to do with your life. So and it was really because I love to travel and I was interested in learning other languages. So I thought, well, what job could be better than being a diplomat, because you get to travel and you live in different countries. Yeah. Exactly. So that is what I pursued, and I studied political science and Russian language at university, and then I got really interested in Eastern Europe and the Soviet Union, and so I did a master's degree in Soviet and East European studies, and it was and I feel happy to have had this career, because then it allowed me to find a job that was directly related to my interests in our Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Now, during what years were these that you were studying, Russian studies and all these other things that were preparing you for this career that you have today?
So I entered university in 1984 and graduated in 1988 with my bachelor's degree, and then I took some time to work and to get to know life a little bit more, and then I did a master's degree and I graduated in 1992.
Okay. Yes. So I asked this question because I was wondering if it would fall within the Cold War era.
It did.
Yes, and if that had anything to do, I mean, did it fuel your your interest in any way along the line?
It did, absolutely, and partly because my father is from Eastern Europe. That's why I have an interesting name. He actually left Hungary in 1956 and came to Canada as a refugee, 18 years old, on his own.
Wow.
And made a very good life for himself. And so I was always interested in, of course, in my own family heritage, but I was interested in the region more generally. So I feel fortunate also that I had a chance to study in the Soviet Union while it was still the Soviet Union, twice in fact, and that was a very eye-opening experience to see how they did.
Okay. I mean, thank you so much. And yeah, so there's Hungarian lineage somewhere. It's brilliant. I did not expect that.
Okay.
But I mean, we'll continue this conversation at some point. But at
pleasure.
this point, I want to invite Priscilla of Koleoko Accessories. She's the creator of much of what we're seeing on this table. And I think, hi.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, Your Excellency, this is Priscilla.
Hello, Priscilla.
How do we describe you? CEO, Chief Creator, Chief Artistic Director. What do we call you?
Sustainable Guru.
Yeah,
Sustainable Guru. I like that one.
But Koleoko Accessories, and much of what we see here, like I said, is her work. And Priscilla, this is Her Excellency Kati Csaba. She is the High Commissioner of Canada to Ghana.
Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes. And welcome to Diplomatic License, Priscilla.
Thank you. Akwaaba to Ghana.
Thank you so much.
And Your Excellency, Priscilla is a friend of mine, of City. And one of the reasons why I fell in love with her work is because I'm sure you learned she does a lot of sustainable art, which you and I know is important. We're talking about climate change, all these different things that are affecting the globe in recent times. But beyond that, she really believes in Ghanaian trade and economics and how she can contribute in her own small way to that. So that's why I invited her here today. And of course, I know you love beads.
I do. I love beads.
Let me surprise you.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so Priscilla, let's start by telling us what's on the table. Maybe start from here.
Okay, so on today's menu, I brought a plethora of beads. So these are bracelets made from recycled glass beads. Also, I have some earrings mixed with glass beads, imported beads, and some imported materials.
Okay.
Also here I have some recycled beads with some dramatic touch to it. And I actually had to beg my mom to give me her old traditional beads to really be able to, you know, give a better story and explain better how beads are used in Ghana. So that's what we have today.
Okay, beautiful. So let's start from the glass beads that we have here.
Okay.
You know.
So let me start with the types of beads we have in Ghana.
Okay.
Beading in Ghana, or beads came into Ghana around the 16th century. And at that time, there were the trade beads that were often brought in by the traders. And these beads were exchanged for raw materials, fabric, sometimes slaves as well. So these were called trade
beads.
And the history of these beads also span across the world. So it's now very common to see this in Ghana more than anywhere else in the world, because we still dress and accessorize our clothes with these beads. So this is the origin of our beads. But what we now use in Ghana are the three types. So this is what we call the glass bead. So these are made from your regular beer bottle. So this, for example, is a mixture of beer bottles, and this would be any white glass bottle you have mixed with seed beads. So the process is by crushing the bottles into huge chunks or semi-huge chunks. Then they are baked in a clay mold. So in the clay mold, you place cassava sticks into the broken glass, put it in a clay kiln, and let it bake for about 20 to 30 minutes. When it comes out as molten hot, there's a metal rod you use to make individual holes in every single bead. So every single bead you see on the table,
completely handmade.
One by one, individually.
That's so time consuming to do that.
Time consuming, exactly. So that's where the love of the trade comes from. So these are the glass beads. And then we have what we call the recycled beads. These beads are a combination of two colored seed beads. So the seed beads are the tiny beads,
like the ones we wear on our waist. So the Ghanaians who are watching around the world and in Ghana, the ones we wear on our waist, they are called seed beads because they look like seeds, right? Small.
So that's what you mix. So you can take any color you want and then mix it together and put it in the clay mold. Also put your cassava stick in it. It goes into the kiln, which is baked for about the same 20 to 30 minutes. When it comes out, you make the same hole in it, and also that process gives it its round shape. So that's the recycled.
So again, each one is made
one by one. And then we have what we call the powder or the opaque beads. So these ones are ground into fine glass. It's glass, but it's ground into fine powder. Very smooth. You will not even be able to tell this is glass because it's that smooth. And you add ceramic dye to get the color. So in this case, it's blue. And also the mold for baking this is the same. It's a clay mold. You put the mixture in it. You put a cassava stick in it, and then you bake it for about 20 minutes. When this comes out, you actually hand paint so this is hand painted. And it's so beautiful to see them doing it. They're just sitting down and it's arranged on the stick and they are just painting away. And when that is done, you put it back into the kiln and bake it again, and then you get this finished product.
So that color won't chip off or won't
chip off, it won't peel off. So in Ghana, these are the three main types of beads you find on the market. And also we have the brass beads. These are made in Kumasi, the Ashanti region of Ghana.
So because they look similar to what you'd see on Otumfor's jewelry, you know, very...
Exactly. So in Ghana, the two main tribes which produce beads are the Ashantis and then the Kobos.
Okay.
So these are brass, and this is actually brass plated. Sorry, this is gold plated. So it's brass, but then they give it a gold finish to make it look more attractive. So this is done by, the process is called lost wax casting. I've not seen them do it totally. It's been a while since I've been to
Okay, so the process again?
Lost wax.
Lost wax casting. Okay.
So it's also an indigenous process of making these. So it's very difficult to duplicate these things because they are very indigenous in their processes. You can do this via machine, but it won't give you the same boom. So yes, those are the main types of beads we have available in Ghana.
Okay, so first of all, I mean, brilliant history. But I have a question. So these are glass beads, right?
Yes.
Okay, but they're green. And if I understand you correctly, that means that the colors that we see with the glass beads, those were the original colors of the bottles.
Exactly. So this is your typical beer bottle.
Okay, great.
This is also, this is a white bottle, but then we mixed a little.
Okay, so just tints it.
Okay, of the beer bottle. Okay.
Just add a little tint to it. This is from your Bombay Sapphire.
Oh, okay.
So this is.
So these are bougie beads.
Yes.
These are bougie beads, and I kid you not, it's difficult to get these.
They would be.
Okay.
They would be.
It is a beautiful color.
Because not everybody is drinking Bombay Sapphire.
And then this is also your regular white bottle bead, but then we add a few drops of the seed beads into it. So when it all melts, it gives you this marble effect. So although these crafts are traditional, as the new generation is picking up, they are trying different things. They are innovating. At first, we used to polish these beads with granite stone, but now we use machine polishing or there's a machine polish to also do this, which gives you a smoother surface.
Yeah, because these ones are very rough.
Exactly.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that the stone, like the one we use, the grinding stone.
The grinding stone. So these are like.
See.
Sometimes when you go, you see maybe there's this old huge rock, and they washed decades of beads in it, so there's a sunken section.
Right, it makes a groove as you over the years.
A groove in it, and that's where the polishing takes place. But now there are machines where locally produced machines.
Locally produced machines.
Locally produced machines, because some of the imported machines were not made for this type of.
So we're just improvising.
They just improvise.
No, but that's interesting to hear, because a lot of the time we beat ourselves up, and Your Excellency, I'm sure you've heard this, we beat ourselves up in this part of the world for not producing things that are beneficial to us and our way of life. So I'm very excited to hear that, you know, there are people who are actually producing technology that can still maintain our traditions and maybe even help us produce more or better versions of the things we know and love.
There's a bead producer around Koforidua. He's been in the business for 32 years, and he has actually got a machine to crush the glass.
Wow.
So he has a glass crusher, and he also has a polisher as well. And he's actually a dodoa, so it's easier to see what he does. And he's one of the biggest producers and exporters of beads in Ghana.
No, I mean, I really wished we could have gone there, but
I know
COVID isn't allowing us to do much.
I know.
I mean, but of course, viewers, I'm sure if you look on the screen, you can see some of the pictures and the little videos. We're trying to recreate the experience for you, so at least you can sort of experience from afar what we're talking about. So that's brilliant. So Priscilla, let's also talk about, I see these ones, for example. Are these stones?
These are not stones. You see, if you look at it, it looks more like what we use for POP.
Yes. Like what do you call it? Yes.
Porcelain,
so
exactly. So it has a porcelain feel.
Okay.
These are actually new beads. I think they started making them around 2 years ago. So like I said, now we know this is the process, and we keep coming up with new ways of producing them. So these are now different, and they are much smoother.
Yeah.
And they come in a wide area of color.
Okay, so I'm seeing a yellow one
very
here.
smooth.
Oh, that is very smooth.
Exactly. And also, these also are made into different shapes. Because
Okay, because I've seen the square ones.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's much,
Okay, so is this one too?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and some of
So
these
it's
in here.
much
Okay.
Smoother.
It's much smoother.
Oh,
like-
and it's versatile.
Exactly, it's versatile. And also, you're able to play with the colors more. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so then let's talk about the metal trinkets
The
that
brass.
are, yes. So this is brass.
Yeah, this is
But
brass.
then on the earrings, I'm seeing lots of shiny bits, even here.
Okay, so it's the same brass, which is
Okay.
made through the same process, like I said earlier, which is the lost wax casting. But for the local Ghanaian market, we like it shiny.
Yes, we like bling bling.
So we
It
have
must be Sochi.
So these ones are gold plated.
Okay.
And these are normally worn for occasions or your regular day. But we in Ghana, we like it gold plated. But for the export market, they like it
Because this is
plain.
more
The
authentic to
original,
them,
yes. Okay.
Exactly. So this is more authentic.
Well, that's very interesting.
So like I was saying earlier, these beading processes are passed through the male
Okay.
side of the family. So most of the beads are actually made by the men, and the women do the retailing of
Wow.
the beads. And some of these bead makers have been doing beads since they were 7 years old.
Wow.
I recently met one who has been doing beads since he was 7, and he has a very big factory in Odumase Krobo, and he travels the world just to give lectures on bead making. So it's a very generational thing, and most of them, after completing GSS or SS, this is their main trade.
It's a family trade, and
It's a
they
family
take it
trade.
up.
And the production doesn't take a lot of space. You could set up a whole factory in a small space like
Okay.
this.
Wow. So it's not capital intensive.
It's not capital intensive. But for me, in Ghana, this is the low-hanging fruits, which if the government could look into a bit, it would be a great export commodity, because in Europe or in the West, sustainable fashion is the thing. And
Okay.
these are sold for prices you will not believe. Go check on Amazon.
No. I mean, and I believe you. But what's making me, I don't know whether to be excited or to be sad. Because a lot of the time when we talk about beads, we think that it's a woman's economy. So if the men are making the beads, we also find it interesting that it's the women who are doing the selling, the retailing. So they're the ones who are actually creating the money out of it, so to
Exactly.
speak. But I imagine that they're not making much.
Unfortunately, the pricing is not too great. So sometimes you realize that this whole process is time consuming, but the pricing is not too great, so they don't make a lot of return. So that's why for me, I like to give them the bottles for free.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Because
So that's a big support.
Which is where
Yeah.
the recycle thing
Exactly.
becomes important.
Exactly. Because if you go to the bead market, there are places where you can buy the glass, they have to buy dye, they have to buy firewood and other things.
Okay.
So for
Okay.
my producers, if I'm at least able to give them the glass material for free, it takes that cost element
Yes.
out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your mother's beads. I mean, I'm seeing beads. Well, all these things look familiar. I've seen them in my mom's collections.
Exactly.
I saw them in both my grandmother's collections. But let's talk about them.
Okay. So, like I said, these are the trade beads. Honestly, these ones, I don't know all their names, but the main ceremonies used for this is for depot
Yeah.
and engagement. And depot is
Because
the-
I wore these for my
You did.
traditional wedding. I had some.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
And is
So
that a traditional color for that
It
ceremony?
is.
Okay.
Yes.
Exactly.
It is.
So these are for the depot is the puberty rise for the
Okay.
Kobo girls when
Okay.
she's 13, 14, and supposedly ready for marriage, but it doesn't apply the same.
Right.
So it's just a ceremony. So these are the beads you wear, and they are normally supposed to be beads that your mother owns or your grandmother. So it's all.
So it's a family tradition.
Exactly. It's all family.
So then, does that mean that these are beads that you may not be able to buy?
It's
you may not find them.
It will be difficult to find the same quality. You will find some on the market, but it won't be the same quality. Because these are older than me.
I should start taking my mother's beads more seriously. And these ones.
Exactly. These ones are more popular in Nigeria.
Interesting.
But they are also used for the same ceremony. So this is for depot as well, because with the depot you have to wear a lot of necklaces. So this is for depot. This is also for depot and engagement. But these ones, I have clients who come and they want the trade beads, which are more expensive, but they want it for their engagements. So these ones are mainly for their engagements and stuff like that.
So what is the process for making these, if I may ask? Because they look so interesting.
These ones are made, are stone cut. So the process I would not know, but these are stone cut, and they are not produced anymore like they were in the past.
Before.
Yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant, Priscilla. I mean, before we go on a break, just please touch on these beautiful statement pieces.
So you see, during COVID, you had a lot of time. So I was like, why not? I've always wanted to do a more dramatic piece, because for certain clothes, you want to wear just a necklace. And normally when you are styling, when you have a very stylish earring, you don't go for a stylish necklace. If you have a stylish necklace, you don't go for a stylish. Exactly. So some of my clients every now and then go like, oh, they want something very dramatic. They want something, with a lot of va-va-voom. So then I created these.
That sounds like me.
Exactly. So I created these two pieces, and these are different types of beads, which I hand wove onto fabric and added a bit of feather to, just doll up the day. So it's just for the young lady who wants to step into the room and go like, I'm going to have a good day. Whatever comes today, I'm having a good day.
I'm owning this room. Okay. Well, I'm owning this room with these two wonderful ladies. Again, you're watching Diplomatic License right here on City TV. It's COVID time, but Her Excellency Kati Csaba of Canada and we're spending time with Priscilla of Koleko Accessories. And look, we're enjoying Ghana and everything that it comes with, regardless of what COVID says it's going to do to us or not. And so let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more and wrap this up. Welcome back. This is still Diplomatic License right here on City TV. It's Heritage Month, it's Women's Month, and I've spent a wonderful day with Her Excellency Kati Csaba of Canada. And of course, she's the High Commissioner of Canada to Ghana. If you've missed out on everything we've done today, then that's your loss. But look out for the repeats. Follow the hashtag Diplomatic License on social media. There's a lot happening there. And I mean, Your Excellency, I was about to call you honorable. I've been watching too much of the vetting in Parliament. But Your Excellency, we've done so much today. I'm so excited. I'm very grateful that you introduced me to the girls that you're working with. I'm happy that I've learned about you, at least the beginnings, and there's much more, because we'll be together again next week. So much more to learn about you and how you grew up in Ottawa, and what it was like growing up with parents who are musicians, professional musicians. I thought that was really brilliant, and the fact that you have Hungarian roots. And of course, my dear Priscilla, thank you, Koleko Accessories, for giving us some history to beads. As Her Excellency, yes, like I've been saying, she loves beads, but I think you've given us a real class. We could have paid for this, but we didn't. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. But do you have any closing remarks? There was something you were saying on the break about the beads that are in layers.
Oh, the layers, yes.
So I was saying that these layers are in 2 layers, and they are made from powder, like the powder beads. The first layer is poured, which is the white, and then the black is also poured in, and then the next color which is also the white, is also poured over it. So this black line is not stuck in the middle. It's actually powder, which is poured over. And this is done in different ways. Sometimes they can pour it in different types of designs where you get it just like this. Like I said, some of them are so specifically done that you cannot just learn like that. It's something that has to be taught down the generation. So these are what I was talking about when we were on break.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a great learning opportunity for me. I've really enjoyed it.
So whenever you're ready to go to the 2 big markets, please let me know.
Oh, we will. We will.
Yes.
Soon enough. Soon enough. So, Your Excellency, thank you so much. I've thoroughly enjoyed your company. Talking about women and girls and generation equality and traditions, both from Canada and from Ghana, and how the two, you know, marrying each other in beautiful ways. But I'm sure I'll get to spend more time with you next week as well.
To that.
Yes.
Thank you also for a wonderful day.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. It's been a wonderful day with Her Excellency Kati Csaba, High Commissioner of Canada to Ghana. And of course, a very special thank you to Koleko Accessories. She's brought all her merchandise here, run away for a day, you know, when she could have been making some money in COVID times. Also, a very big thank you to Avontige Fashion House for my lovely dress. She's always come through for me every single time. And of course, Alisa Hotels. It's also Heritage Month at Alisa Hotels, and they have some great packages. So reach out, see what's happening at their Northridge facility, and then see, I mean, great packages. If you have anything going on, some honeymoon or something, talk to them, they'll sort you out. So this has been Diplomatic License on City TV once again. I will see you next week. Enjoy your Heritage Month. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. My name is Apioko. I'll see you next week.